Good morning, YouTube. Let's try this again. You guys have no idea. I have no editing equipment, and this is like the fourth time I've started this. The first couple times it was a screen issue, and the last time was just my voice and my throat and going off on tangents. So I need to start writing down a script kind of. So hi, missed y'all. Sorry I've been away. I have a lot of stuff coming up, so stay tuned. But so many different angles and so many different subjects, and things are really coming to light. My puzzle's coming together quite well, and the border of my puzzle, the whole existence of us. The borders were done in the late 90s, I would say, mid to late 90s. They kind of solidified, and now I've just been filling in the middle. And things are coming along quite well, and a lot of people are helping. WSO, Naughty Beaver, Roger over at Mud Fossil, which I got a video on that coming up soon. You guys are going to love. I think big things between what WSO has been saying about the whole universe being alive and a living entity and living beings, and what Roger at Mud Fossil says. I got something coming for you guys that I think will shed some light on all that and put some more pieces together for everybody. But okay, that's another video. So tonight, or this morning I should say, we're going to be working on directed energy weapons and their use in not only the fires in California and Tennessee, Africa, Italy. I'm missing one right now, but all over the world. Canada, there's been a lot of, in my opinion, directed energy fires and attacks. So also in weather and in the geoengineering of storms, and I believe they're starting to mix these conspiracies, I guess you'd say, seeing they're gonna call us theorists. When we state the facts, we're gonna tell them it's a conspiracy. So these weapons are being combined, geoengineering and and in the California fires, it seems that with the next rad acting the way it was and firing off, pulsing twice right before the fire starts, split seconds before the fire starts, and the radar signatures we have coming into the coast in the northwest, on the coast of Washington and Oregon, down towards Northern California, and then the winds that came through that have been described by survivors as nothing normal. Definitely not Santa Ana's. From the interview I heard, a young lady that grew up in California that barely got out of the Paradise fires. Before I go any further, a plain truth .info and a plain truth here on YouTube has done just fabulous job covering the California fires from last year until now. And the Paradise thing, they're raising money for people. They're boots on the ground, more people than just Jamie, but Jamie took a drive up the valley. You guys got to go check it out. And they show the PG&E encampment and how many trucks are there and tents, and it's just insane. So go check it out if you haven't. Anyways, I just had to give a shout out to Jamie because he's just been on it. So, and then Mike Morales caught everything for the start of the fire and all that, the signatures and everything, right? So I was watching a Mental Boost video the other day, and what I saw, everybody I know is focused on the embers. Okay, it's this embers enters house or something it's called, and I guess you're supposed to think this ember, this hot, goes into the building, kind of floats through the glass, or, I mean, it looked like it floated up and maybe underneath the roof overhang there, if anything. But it wasn't the flames and the embers that made me think. I mean, those threw me back. I mean, that's hard to watch. But these pulses of light, and I had to watch it a few times to make sure it wasn't just fire, and I honestly don't think it is, because what it reminded me of is the In Truth by Grace video that's on the screen right now. And this is during Micheal. So what I was saying before, I want to cover this again, the ones I had to erase. 1 second here. Sorry, I had to hit my babe. I know this video is getting long. Drink some water. I was going to do a video where I'm in the corner, like it's got the picture of me in the corner, but I have duct tape over my front facing camera, and I really don't feel like taking it off and cleaning it and doing all that. So, yeah, I don't believe in selfies anyways. It's the most ridiculous thing, but I'm in my early 40s, so that's to be expected, I think. At least if you're not conceited or arrogant or stuck in a sheeple world. Anyways, so, yeah, okay. I was just taking a break because the video's long. So, In Truth by Grace shows this and say, oh, yep, sorry. What I was getting at was, so we had Florence. We had Florence come in, hit the East Coast, right? Right after that, we had a typhoon hit China, right at Hong Kong, that ripped up buildings and sent people flying down the street. It was their strongest on record, as far as I know. Like winds in upper, mid 200s. So, not upper, I just stuttered on that word. Mid to low 200s. So, right after that, we got hit with Micheal. And what I want to say, this isn't a fact. This is just conjecture here. It's my theory, is that there's a possibility that China hit us with Florence. Okay, Grace showed it wasn't a normal hurricane. It came in, it didn't disrupt the buoys, nowhere near hurricane force winds. The radar was sketchy at best. They were only showing a little bit off the coast, and it was just a green band half circle. Then when it came in, it was still just a circular storm, a circular severe storm, just rotating severe storm. And what I think is they're combining geoengineering and dew, both with the fires and with the hurricanes. Whether it's, WWIII, like I've said for a while, is that we're in that, but it's plausible deniability weapons. Directed energy, poisons, you see that happen, but on larger scales, it's really weather, geoengineering, storms, and directed energy weapons. So now they're combining them. And what I'm going to show you is this part of this video, and you guys see the title up top. It's in Truth by Grace channel. Go check out the whole video if you want. But what I'm going to show you is, if you're a scientist, if you're really into science and you know about electromagnetic energy, you know about electricity, you know how nature works, you will undoubtedly see that this is, without a doubt, serious energy. Now, if it's not directed energy weapons, then the Earth is purging itself and is crazy. And the weather is crazy because of the Earth. No, I don't think so. Only because we'd be done if that was the case. And we know the evidence of geoengineering. We know the signatures, the radar, and everything else. We see it. So, anyways, with that if aside, you're going to see this, and then we'll move to the California fires and a mental boost video that I saw the other night that made me want to do this whole video. And if I said that earlier, I'm sorry. Like I said, I've done this 4 times, so bear with me. I love you guys. All right, here we go.
Here come the lights. You can see the upper left-hand corner of the screen gets brighter. See that? And you can hear the crackling.
Right here.
Now watch the tree as it responds to the crackling and the lights that are going to come in. See this? Watch this.
Okay.
Hear that crackling?
Now watch this light.
Get ready. Here it comes. Boom. Do you see that?
Right there.
How about that?
That's insane. It gives me chills up my spine every time I see this.
Now this is happening like in every seven seconds, every 8. It's hard to tell. Like it seems like it's about every 7 to 8 seconds. Watch this again. It's building up. Now watch this as it hits 11:17. The whole upper sky is going to open up in like just this blast. See that? It's like a huge blast, and the tree totally responds.
Look at that.
See that? It's like 2 blasts right in a row. I'll do it one more time. Here it comes. There's 1, 2, right now. And then the third one's going to be right about now. See that? Look at that.
It looks like a nuclear blast.
This whole tree trunk just kind of, especially this part of the trunk, just blasts. Like it's been hit by lightning, but there's no lightning there. This is not lightning. I don't even think these guys could see this. And it happens so fast. I bet you they're responding to the flush of energy and the currents that they're feeling, but they would have no way of knowing that this is electromagnetic frequencies just by standing there. Plus, they're adrenaline junkies. They're not going to be that discerning. Okay, now let's just watch this. Do it one more time.
I just want you to see this tree just fold over.
That's just electromagnetic frequency ripping through there. That's not lightning. Those guys probably didn't even see that.
Well, they probably thought it was lightning.
And there are more.
All right, hold on.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
That's literally being shot at them from the sky.
Yeah, look at that coming down. Like pulses. And you can hear the crackling in the microphone.
Another thing I want to point out here is, see all this debris floating around? Those are tree leaves. The terrible thing about this, you guys, is that...
Okay, you guys go check out that video because it's intense and it's crazy. And in my opinion... Okay, well, let me get back to my theory about if it were China. Because Florence came into the East Coast aimed at 5 or 6 nuke plants. They were all in danger, or in the path of the storm. I don't want to use too many excitable words. They were in the path of the storm, and they could have been disabled. A few of them were definitely under flood danger and other things. So Florence was the same thing. I heard plenty of reports of glass breaking in people's houses during Florence on the East Coast, both the Carolinas and Georgia. One woman said the lid to her crock pot or pressure cooker shattered just sitting there. And then another person said a glass bowl they had sitting on a shelf just shattered. And a woman said her wine glass sitting on a table or something just shattered out of nowhere. So I believe what they're doing with these storms is, well, at least in these two, whoever manufactured them wanted people to think it was a hurricane. That's why they sold it. That's why it was on all the channels for like a week. They knew this thing was coming in. They knew where it was going to hit. They knew how bad it was going to be. But like I said, in Truth by Grace showed the buoys were not registering hurricane force winds. It's a circular storm they brought in, they made severe, and then they added dew to make it seem like a hurricane so they could, whatever they were trying to do, whoever was trying to, make destruction and displace people, we know that. Agenda 21 is probably big on it. So right after Florence, we got the typhoon that was aimed at China. It was aimed at both nuclear plants as well, and I say aimed with confidence because they're steering these things. We know it. We've seen the waves on Mimic. We see the signatures on radar. We know what they're doing. So it was steered into not only nuke plants like Florence was here, but a military base of theirs, a pretty important one from, if I can recall. So after that is when we got hit with this storm, Michael, and it hit the Gulf Coast and hit our Air Force base that is responsible for air defenses. And from what we've heard, rumor was that, we know they scrambled everything out. That wasn't rumor. But supposedly some were left behind and destroyed, and some went missing. A bunch of stealth fighters, I think. People, like the Q people, were like, oh yeah, it's the good guys. Took them. Whatever. Doesn't matter what they say. It does not matter what they say. We are on our own. Just ignore those puppets, please. So anyways, so there's that. And we know we have very strong evidence to, I'm just going to say, yes, we know they're using dew in California. I don't know that they're just doing the whole fire with dew, but like Mike Morales showed, they definitely sparked it, and I believe they spark it with dew. I think they spray accelerants from the chemtrails. We know they were chemtrailing very, very heavy before the California fires for days. All the witnesses say it. And Mike had a good thought, which was accelerants like the particulates and oxides in thermite. So, because that wouldn't stick to vegetation. What it does is it sticks to people. It sticks to houses, to buildings, to materials such as that, non-porous metals to cars and houses, awnings, stuff like that. So that would make sense why all that torches so hot and the trees do not. So I'm leaning towards that. So they're spraying all that. They're using the dew to start it. We do know they're using dew. They're aiming. We saw that baseball field. It's like half burnt from last year. So anyways, I'm going to go to this video. It might go horizontal for a second because I don't think in my history I can. So yeah, hold on one second. Boom.
Malibu area.
There we go.
If confirmed, it would be the fire's third.
This is from Mental Boost. He's been doing a great job on the fires too. And they're playing this security cam footage of this house, that eventually burns up because these hot embers, and you can see the fire in the backyard. But I believe these lights are the same thing we're seeing in the footage that in Truth by Grace shows of Michael that I just showed you. So check this out. You guys tell me what you think.
Surveillance camera capturing the final
there right
moments
off
of
the
the
bat.
house in Malibu as the wildfire.
What was that explosion in the back? Don't you think they would have said it was a tank or something? Let me turn this off so I don't get a copyright or anything. I mean, he hasn't, but it is Fox. So the thing is, you're supposed to be watching the embers. I'm gonna touch the screen here. You're supposed to be watching the embers through here. What? Not showing my touches. Should be. Hold on, guys. There we go. Okay. So the embers are coming in here, and one supposedly goes in the window here. But I think it just floats up here and goes up under there. But that's what everybody's focused on. That's what they're talking about in this video. They're talking all these embers flying around, right? Oh, watch this light up in here. Oh, sorry. I believe, yep. See how blue and purple that was? I don't think that was a transformer. I know they do have some sound on this, and I believe you would have seen. Plus, I don't think a transformer would be right there. I mean, there's a hill and everything. You would think it'd be out at the street if it was. But it's not just that explosion. You guys can go and watch this video too. I'll try to add the links tomorrow. You know, I'm just on mobile, so it's all I can do. But that is fire flare. But watch in the windows and on the roof of the house, or on the house here. See that light? The fire is over here behind the house. So what is this flash? It's like daylight, not just from that, but even when that's not flaring, you see this light up in pulses. You see how the wind, it blew in pulses. You can see the comes out here, wave, and now watch another wave, whoosh. That could be wind, but it seems a lot. It's funny that it's arched and it just comes in a wave, and then one more wave. Let me see if he backs out of this. This is all focused on the embers. See, but right there, look. Watch this light just light up everything. Watch this. Look at how bright that is. I don't think that's just flames. Look at that. 2 of them pulse just like we just saw in the video at Micheal. Okay, guys, tell me what you think. It's already been a long video. I hope you guys hung in with me. I'd like to say like and subscribe. Don't subscribe if you don't want to. Do please like the video if you do, because it does help with views. And we need all the help we can get with these algorithms and everything else. So tell me what you guys think. Can't wait to show you my next video on the mud fossil stuff. So, as always, love, respect, blessings, much love. Peace.